Well, howdy, y'all, and welcome to another high-powered episode of the High Voltage Live Show. I'm your host, Willie Snyder with NEC Question, coming to you live from the Mile High City in Denver, Colorado. I'm joined by my awesome partner in crime, Mr. King James Stallcup, over there in Big Sky Country, Texas. Giving all hook and horns over there from the Mile High City. And really awesome doing these every week, James. I really appreciate you putting them together. It really means a lot. And we have a special surprise this episode. We have Colorado's newest journeyman, Miss Katie Curtin. So congratulations, Katie. She got that license, and just another fan of the Nat King Code. So that's awesome. Really means a lot when I see people getting their license and moving up. And it's just, I wish her all the best of luck in the world.
Oh, yeah. Well, I've got to show people some things this week.
Awesome. That's cool.
We are working on getting the update for the 2023 journeyman, all in color and everything, and linking it all up and everything. But in that time, everybody's been asking, we've been talking about death matches coming soon. This is coming soon and everything. Well, I'm going to show everybody what we've been working on. And right. I still got about 3 months of work. So it's probably going to be October, November before we start everything. But nice. This is just giving everybody an insight of everything that's taking place. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to share the screen here so everybody can see what we've been doing up to this point. And
oh, what's up, Bridget? Yo, what up? Welcome in, another Colorado electrician in the house. Awesome.
So let's see here. I'm not showing all my different windows here. I don't understand what's going on. Should let me.
And one big shout out we have to say is deathmatch is coming. So I told everyone we're gonna have it. We're gonna have it. So
amen to that. All right. Now what we got here. I'm about to share it here. Hey, Bridget. Now, this is going to be the new website / everything. Your learning management system, everything is built into this. Okay, so when you come over to the site, we're going to have access to all kinds of stuff here. As you'll see here, I'll just start right here. You're going to see the death match here. You can go and click. Now, I've got it linked right now, but I'm about to unlink it right after this podcast. I only linked it so everybody could see what it looks like. So when you come over here, you click. This is going to take you over to the page, and you'll see right here, we come in and we talk about all the different things that's going to take place. We tell you how many questions and problems are, what the time frame and length of the contest is. So it's going to be for 9 months, and the quiz can take anywhere from 1 to 1.5 hours. At the end of it, 9 months, we'll take the total test score combined, do an average grade. And if there's a tie at the end of the contest, we'll have one really, really hard test. And if you have 4 people that are tied at the end and they're still tied at the end, they'll split the $1,000 4 ways. Okay. If you win it outright, you get the whole $1,000. And
ooh, $1,000 of Stalco's money. Everyone hear that? Woohoo!
And
that's nice.
We did some quick, cool graphics down at the bottom here just to highlight a few things here. The best part, the prize, the time frame, and the calculation problems and 20 questions. A little more in depth on that, sort of explaining it. Now, I want to show everybody.
Right, John popping in here. Welcome in, John. Thanks for joining tonight.
Here is the October questions. Just sort of show everybody what it looks like. So when you come over here and you click it, now this is what you're going to see. Any course you purchase, publications or anything. I'm about to show all that here in just a second. But
nice.
When you go to whatever it is you purchase, it'll take you to the course page here. And on the course page, I've got information here, just different things. Now you can just right here, or you can come down here, and then we've got it where it's linked in here, and you can select it right down here where it says 24 NEC Deathmatch questions, and then there's a little something about me, we're the ones put it together. So if I want to go look at these questions, I'll just click here, or I can come right back up here to continue and just go to there. So I'm going to go to the question.
And just for everyone out there, if for some reason we started in November, make sure James edits it to November instead of October.
Oh, it will be. Everything will be edited by the time we get there. October is my goal, but I think there's a lot to do. I don't think people realize just how much goes into doing all this stuff. But when you
we kind of rushed the first versions a little bit just to see if we could do it, and there was a lot of bugs that we found out, so that was pretty cool. I was glad that you did that. We just kind of did a little crash course,
Sure. And one of the things that's going to happen here is the green part there won't say October questions. I just put it there. It's just going to say 2024 NEC Deathmatch, and I'm going to have a time limit that's set on this. So all the questions during the contest when you enter will be listed right underneath it.
Done.
Now,
Daniel in the house.
Now check this out.
What's up, Daniel?
So I'm going to start. When you get ready to start, I'm going to show everybody what it looks like. Okay, so I'm going to start it. Right here to the right, when I set the clock up, it's going to show you your time, how much time you have left. Okay? And right over here, you just answer the questions. You'll notice we even put a cool background in it. It took some code writing to get this to actually work, but we put a cool background in it for the NEC Deathmatch to make it sort of its own little entity, where it looks real cool and everything. So I'm reading this one here. I'm going to say it's a number 10. I already know it is. But you just answer it and come down here and just go to the next question. Now, you can go back if you want to look at something, okay? But you just go through here and you just do your questions. Go through your 20 questions. And I hadn't added the 4 problems yet, but there will be 4 problems. And as you're taking this test, anytime you leave, we'll give you like maybe 3 days. You'll have 3 days that you can come back and keep up with the test, or you can do it all in one shot. But the clock, timer, and everything will stop if you have to leave for whatever reason, some emergency comes up, then you can come back and restart. Okay, so that's going to be one of the other cool features we're going to have on.
Yeah, that sounds fair though. And then you'll have the same amount of time when you come back.
Right, and I think everybody will really like the way that we're putting that together. Now I'm going to show you some other stuff here. Now right here, I can't show you the online courses because I haven't done those yet. That's why it's going to take me some time. But
yeah, so John, basically you could do the test anytime you want for that whole entire month. Once the month is up, then the test will be locked out, and then what we'll do is we'll probably review the questions and drop the new test.
Yeah, the great thing about this one is after you take it, there will be a thing that comes up at the end. It'll tell you what you got right and whatever you got wrong. You can go back and check, and I'll have the section number there. You can go check and see what I'm telling you is true. Okay?
Oh, and here's the shark up in here. John, you got your hands full with David Engelhard entering into the death match, man, because he was like 100% probably 4 or 5 months in a row. So
when you know he's not here right now, I had to see all this.
No, he's here.
Oh,
he's here.
Oh,
yeah, I just jumped in. I just put it up there.
Okay. Well, as you can see, I've put a lot of time into this. This is going to be a really cool feature. Now, the other thing, when you come in here to publications,
we knew David was itching for it.
Oh yeah, you'll have, when you see up here full publications, these are publications. It's the whole publication. Then I'll have like the generator series, the transformer series, the motor series, the exam prep series. There's going to be a lot of different breakdowns, or you can just purchase the whole thing. So right now, this is
welcome in. There she is. Colorado's newest journeyman in the house.
All right.
Welcome in, Katie.
Welcome, Katie. Congratulations again. Now, when you come over here and you look at this in your full publications, you're going to see up here at the top, we're telling you what the publications, these are just quick bites for you to understand what we've done, and then we'll tell you what type of illustrations are, what we've done and everything. And then for the instructors out there, we tell you about our presentations and everything. Okay? So you can that's just a quick run through. Now, when you come down here, you can look at whichever one of these publications you want. Let's just say I come down here and I want to look at generators. Okay? So we're going to tell you here, for more information, take me there. You want to go look and see what we've done. All right. Now, when I get ready, I'm going to shut this down too. This is just for the presentation, not show everybody what we're doing. When I first come out with this, I'm going to have this at 50% off. Okay. So
nice.
you'll when I put it up, I have a counter that I've built into this site, and it'll start its countdown. And when that countdown's over, too bad. Then it goes to the regular price. And you'll notice I have the 50% off code there for you to put in when you go over there. So now let's go and review this. All right. Now, when you come over review, we got the same information up here, but this is where you want to get into good stuff. Now, when you come in here, we tell you can go straight here with a button. Now, I do have a link if you want to get the paperback, but that's going to be on another site. You buy it individually from this site. But if you want the digital one, which I think everybody's going to want once they see this will tell you 50% off code. You click here, it'll take you there. Now, as you come down through here, we have illustrations here for you to look at. So
welcome in, Lord Bailey's in the house. Thanks for joining us tonight. Sorry to interrupt.
No worries. And this shows you all the illustrations, or, just a sampling of just the detail in what these illustrations look like that are going to be contained within these books. And we encourage you to even go compare it against any other publications. We encourage you to go look at other websites to see if they even show you this type of information. But
I'm telling you, James, it's coming. I mean, they promised me, so like I say, it's any day now. I mean, I know it's been like 3 years But
Well,
they keep promising. So
this has been a long time coming. I mean, if you look at that illustration on the bottom right hand side, we literally drew the testers and everything. We got like 5 different type testers showing you all the different type of testing that you do when that you would see out in the field when you're doing this troubleshooting for motor windings and components. So
oh
as you
wow,
go through,
we have somebody that's actually using it.
oh well, thank you very much. But look at this. Now I tell everybody, go look and see if they even show you what's in it. But here, what I've done is to show you the extensive coverage of what is actually in this publication. So we come in and I've got it all by chapters, and then I tell you all the topics that are covered in here. So this portion's just generators, and then you come down, here's your transformers. We tell you everything. I hadn't even seen a book that covers secondary ties and how you go in and deal with those. And but when you come in and you look at this, it is very detailed. So this takes you in to show you all the different chapters that deal with motors. We show you all the starting methods. We show you the different type of motors before you get there. And we go through all the different types, explain them to them, telling you about the different type of NEMA enclosures that are there. So when you come in, this gives you a really good idea of what's in the publication. And then when you get ready to purchase, which I've already set up for this, I'm going to go in and show you this. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to put this code in. Now, this will be the page that you come to before you go if you've already purchased it. And right here, we tell you how many pages are in it. We tell you the number of interactive topics that are covered in this publication. We tell you the number of illustrations that are in the publication, and then we tell you the number of chapters that are in the publication. Okay, nice. So we go in depth on everything. So,
now, what is that one the design, or is that the journeyman?
This one here is the generator transform motor compressor.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, that's a good one too.
Now I'm gonna go ahead and purchase this. I've got it set on a thing where I can purchase it for nothing. Then it's going to take me over here to my landing page. Okay, so I'm just going to hit continue. No, I can go down this way. We did that earlier. If you look here, when you go to your landing page, I can come in here and I've broken this down. And I will tell you, you go look at any others, you're not going to see this type of design. Right. You can come in. This book is so big that I've got it broke down into generators, transformers, and the motors is so big that it's broken down into 2 parts here. All right? Right. Or if I don't want to pick one of those, I can just say I want to look at a certain type of individual chapter. Okay, so let's just say right. I'm looking at this and I just want to look at transformer here. Okay, so I'm just going to hover above this chapter and click. All right. Now, as you will see, all the other transformers are here, or I can scroll this up and I can say I want to look at something in motors. So I built this so you can contain everything within this one PDF program, I guess you could say.
Right.
Now,
right.
What I would tell you here is right here, they got this here. I like to scroll it into where it's pages, and then right here in the middle, I can change what I want to see. So I'm just going to do a page fit here. All right. Now, I can just come over here and I can select over here what I want to see, or I can just scroll what I want to go see. So right. You can come in, look at everything you want to look at here. Everything's laid out for you, and you can say, all right, I got the information I need there. And let me show this because I did not show this also. So here I'm at the first part of this, and I can say, I want to look at Y-connected secondaries. Just click it.
Right.
Come on. There we go. There it goes. And just come here, and it'll click you over here, and then you can come over here and start looking at what you want. So we've given you as quick of access as you could ask for. Now, let's say I come up here and I just want to be in the full publication for motors. All right. Now, as I come in and I open this up fully for motors, I'll put it in page fit.
Dude, it actually cracks me up when you were on NEC Live and somebody commented, "What's a motor?"
Yeah,
That was so funny.
I was going so fast. Now, what is cool about this right here is this is broken down into different parts here. Okay, by the chapter it would come in. Now, let's say that I wanted to look at this and I wanted to look at overcurrent protection for individual motors instead of the individual chapter. I just want to work within one chapter. All I have to do is come down here, click this. Now watch this. I'm going to scroll right here and look at here. Here's your individual topics here. So if I wanted to look at sizing the maximum overcurrent protection device, come over here, takes you to that heading, and then you can scroll down through here, and then look at there. We show you the calculations and show you how to do everything. We've drawn everything to show you the connections to the disconnect. And then from the disconnect, we show you going into the controller and what the guts of the controller look like to connect that motor properly. So you get all.
Hey,
that.
Did you ever think about using that illustration that we made for like that wedge motor?
I haven't.
That was a pretty good one.
I haven't used it in any of our stuff here because it didn't go with what we were doing. Now, look at here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do Texas, and then I'll do your Colorado for you. But I made sure I put Colorado in here since.
Nice. Well, that's the least you could do for ripping me off for 20 code changes.
Now, when you come in here, we're going to tell you, and we write a pretty cool little thing here. We say, howdy, electrical professionals in the Lone Star State. We write some cool stuff here about letting it be specialized to Texas. And then when you come down here, we tell you about it. And you'll see right here, we tell you about everything right here. We tell you what purchase course, and then we tell you what the continuing edge. That's why we got 4 boxes here, and what we are allowed to do. So you got to get 4 hours every year, and 3 hours have to be related to the NEC. Then I have to do 30 minutes related to 70E, and then I have to do 30 minutes to state law. So this breaks it down to sort of tell you what's required, and then if I go to the state of Colorado, which is going to be a little bit different, y'all call them professional development units. Right. So I wrote a thing in here.
That's because we're professionals. So,
well, see, I even told you here, I said, welcome electrical enthusiasts in the Centennial State. And I say, today we're venturing into the mountainous terrain and knowledge that shapes Colorado's electrical professional. Nice. we write some really interesting stuff in here to make it sort of personal. And then when you come down here, you'll see you got your PEUs. Y'all got to do 24 hours every 3 years, at least 4 hours to the NEC, a maximum of 4 hours to safety. And then your deadline is in 2026. I can tell you, I will be out and ready before no time. I
think it's 4 hours of code changes, and I think Miss Katie, I don't think she has to do it since she got it. I'll have to check, but I think if you got it in that code cycle, then your grandfather, you don't have to do continuing education.
There was one thing I forgot to show here real quick. Let me show this. I'll just go to grounding real quick. Let me get out of this. Well, let me go over here to me. Let me go.
Oh, welcome in, Jason. Yeah, Colorado is a lot different than Texas.
Now, I have you can come over here to me and go to your profile, see where you have your courses here. They'll all be listed here, and they got cool badging and all that stuff. But I forgot to show something here I want everybody to see. Now, right here, you have the path to go to all these different publications and look at them, interact with them, everything. But I'm going to show you something else that you're not going to see in other programs. And that's why when I've been telling everybody, I've been putting a lot of effort and time into this, because I'm trying to make it to where when people come in here, it doesn't matter if you're doing it on your own or if you're with uh, an association. You know, you could be IEC, you could be Faith Technologies, NJTC, any of them. I want to show you what we can do here. Now, I could have an online course. You could just want the publications, whatever you're doing for your students. And I can create a separate course there. And when I create that course, it'll never show up on the website. It will only be there for the people that are going to be in that class. So, in other words, the teacher only interacts with the students. Okay.
Hey, I have a question, James.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any way for me to like ask you stupid questions on there?
Yeah, and I'm about to show you. Now,
all right.
Right here, if you have one of these publications, right here you've got learners. Now, what you can do, if it's a specific course, you can invite other learners. There's only specific ones that will be able to go to that course. But if it's just an open forum, or it's anybody that's purchased this other than a specific course, you can actually link in and with other learners on here. So if you're an instructor, this is great for you, because you could have 20 students here, and all 20 students would be listed in your course, and you just interact with them. Now,
so would I have like a button where I could say, "Hey, King James, is that transformer required to be listed?"
Watch. Right here, there's your learners tab. Now look at here. Here's your discuss tab. Now when you come over here, you can come in. You can just type a message. You can come in here. You can insert an emoji. You can mention a member here. So I could just click and mention a member. I can come in, attach a photo here. I can attach a file or video or something you want somebody to see that you saw out on the job. Maybe it was, say we're talking about art class, and you saw a cool art class. You can, if you have the file or video, you can do it, or you can just put the URL in where it's at and people can go see it. Then
basically I could like tag you on everything.
Yeah, you can tag me on anything. Anybody can tag anybody. And then if, say you're an instructor or somebody in here, you can actually start a poll on here and set this up and go ahead and add your choices and ask a question or anything you want. So that
I'll be tagging Bridget on there.
Now, that's pretty cool, but let me show you something here. Now, right here is, we got a community tag up here. All right. Now, when you come up here to the community, you're automatically going to see anything that you've purchased here. You can come in right here and just go to course discussions to pick it up if you don't want to be inside the program. You just want to read the comments. And then I'm going to set up here to where we have other types of things that are set in here where you can come in and you can start any type of post you want in here. But I'm going to set up other groups in here for like grounding and calculations and things, hazardous locations. So they'll be very specific to what you're looking at. Now, the last thing that we're adding into this is right here is going to be the blog page. And when you come over here, I've already put 2 of these in here. You can come in and you can just click here, and I'll be periodically, probably about once a week to 2 weeks, depending on my schedule, I'm going to add a new article, and I'll have, a cool looking setup and everything. But say you wanted to look at motor breaker sizing. Okay. You come in here, you do this, and we have links to go back to the publications that it come from and get further information on the courses and stuff. And then you'll have an article in here, tells you exactly what we're covering. And as you come down through here, we show you a step-by-step example problem, and then you'll see the illustration, and then you can look at this, try to work it, fill in the blanks, and then I have an answer to you. Okay? Nice. And now, not all of them will be like that. There will just be some here and there. And then here's one I did on third-party certification, and you'll see that it's set up here. And you can just go through here and look at what we say about it and everything. And and like I'll give you a good example of an illustration here where we go in full detail and showing you how to tie all of this in. And
Hey, James. So
yeah,
I have an interesting question. So here in Colorado, we have to have, I believe it's 243 class hours to get our to qualify to get our journeyman's license.
mhm.
Do you offer any of the classes that can be counted towards your education to get your license in Colorado?
Sure. The instructors, they can submit this and show it, and this will show up better than any of them that are out there. They just
So,
also have to tell us what it is, and uh, we can provide the information showing how many hours it contains that's in there to go through it all. And what a lot of them are talking about doing, because they do a lot of hands-on too in the classroom, that you'd have your hands-on plus the online training, and they can track. And the great thing,
288,
well,
288 hours.
the great thing about this is you can track all the hours and everything through this.
Yeah, and so that goes to Wyoming too. So all our education actually counts towards all the states that we reciprocate with.
Okay.
So it's the same requirement. I believe it's a little bit more class hours for Wyoming, but I actually used to have my Wyoming license. I didn't renew it this year. I actually just decided not to reciprocate it this year, but I did have my Colorado and my Wyoming at one point.
Right. Now, there is another one here up in the, well, I won't finish this one. And if you look here, we go through and show you all the things you need to look at, where you have the OSHA loop, you got what you need to design it by. And if you look, and this is one that I use this in a presentation we did on this podcast when we were talking about, does NEC override the listing and labeling? No, it doesn't. And the reason
Yep.
is because if you look like this piece of equipment, anything that gets a listing and labeling, it tells you it has to be designed by what? The National Electrical Code. Plus, this is industrial equipment, so they needed to look at NFPA 79. Plus, you had to look at the ANSI C series. And if you were going to custom make it, then you do a UL 508 or a 508A in order to do that. And then we give you the NEC loops here for the listing and labeling and approval of equipment, which is acceptable by the authority having jurisdiction. Okay?
Yeah, and I'll give a good example of that. We had some of this equipment come in from like another company or another country, rather. Sorry,
Mm-hmm.
and all the wiring colors were weird, and that we had to hook them up. Like we had to hook a red to or like a purple to like a yellow, and we had to do all this weird stuff. So we actually we went through all the listing and labeling, and what they allowed us to do was heat shrink all those terminations to make it basically North American compliant. So that was the only thing that they had an issue with. Everything else was exactly to the standards of Europe and all these different countries, but that was just that one thing that they didn't like, the wire color. So you couldn't fail that from a code standpoint because the phasing. So we were able to go in there and just heat shrink the right phasing on there, and then the AHJ allowed us to install that equipment. So
Sure.
The one thing to answer Bridget's question is you're pretty much going to have somebody sign off on those hours. I mean, I don't know how it would go through your LMS. How would that go through your LMS, James?
Well, on the
far as
LMS, you can actually go in and you can, there will be printouts that you can do. If as a student you might, but if you contact me, I can go in and show the hours and print it out for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome, Bridget. Well, you found your solution there, so.
Yeah, we have done a ton of things here. You know, it's one thing you look at this looks pretty cool and all that, but there's a lot of back end stuff here. So you have reports and things like that that you can generate that people need. And the great thing is somebody sends me a message, say, hey, can you do this? I'll just take a quick look and say,
What's
yeah,
up, Warren
here it
Brothers
is.
in the house?
And I can send it to them right away. Now, if you remember we were talking about the dates, March 15th, 1972, and I used April 16th, 1981. This
Yeah.
article here goes through and gives you those dates right there. Now, I want to show you something else. Right here in the apps, you'll see other students. You can click here, and this is going to come over, and all the students will be listed here. So if you want to follow one of those students, you can say you want to follow me, for instance, or you, or it doesn't matter who it is. They can follow each other. Then another app that I'm going to have in here pretty soon, after I get all this running, is going to be other news. So other new technologies and things that are coming out, I will do RSS feeds to like ECNM and NFPA Journal, all of those. You'll have apps here that you can go over and get that information quickly. So all of this is going to be contained right here for quick information for everybody to just have quick access to. So
Dude,
that's what y'all are going to see.
Could you imagine if we could actually have people do the death match for class hours? That would be awesome.
Well, you think about it, by the time it's done, you've got at least 9 hours in.
Yeah.
Answering questions to see what you get and everything. And it'll be limited to one time. You get to take it one time. And probably what I'll do is I'll do just a 10-question pre-test so everybody can get used to it and see how it works, and maybe do some easy, quick calculation problems, 2 of those, just so everybody can see how it works. And it will fall under that one spot that's in there for all of your NEC deathmatch. So you'll have your basic test, and then you'll start whenever we start from October on, or November, whenever it is, and you'll just have everything listed there. You'll know you took it, and everything's contained in one spot. And that's something we didn't have before. They were all had to be done individually. I couldn't get them all under one. Well, I've learned some new things in coding and stuff.
Nice.
So I was able to move stuff just like I did on the generator transform motor book. You got all that simplified there. So there's going to be a lot of different ways that you can go about this. I can tell you the publications will be the cheaper route if you just want to have access to information. And another thing that I'm going to have it, you can take and just say you just wanted to purchase the motor series. You can just purchase the motor series if you want, or and that will come in as a bundle package. Or you can do a subscription service where you have access to all the publications, and I don't know what I'm going to charge yet on that, but you'll have access to that. I may even break them up into different varieties where I have just the motor series that you can pay monthly on,
nice.
for a small fee. So, and then once all of those are done publication wise, then you're going to slowly but surely you're going to start seeing all the online courses coming in. Now, the difference between the publications and online is when you're online courses, you actually get to the illustrations and you get to the video portion. Anywhere on there, you can actually click the sections and tables and stuff, and it pulls up like that, and then you just go back and forth to there. And when you're doing the video portion, it'll actually stop once you click one of them and start back up where you were at. But the calculation series, what's really awesome about that is you can actually we have the fill. Matter of fact, let me show people, because they're going to be looking at this like, what is
Bridget's loving it. Right on. No, that's good news, because Bridget needs the 288 hours. So Bridget, you only need 260 79 hours now. We already got 9 hours knocked off for you. So
Yeah, I'm gonna go right to my profile. Oh wait, that won't do any good because I need to open up the tournament. Let me get the tournament here so I can show everybody what I'm talking about. When you get to this
is there any way to give me that free passcode where I could get them all for free too?
I'm sure I can get you something.
All right. Yeah, I'll forgive those 20 code changes. I wasn't real worried about it anyway. I knew you'd get around to it.
223. I think I put the code in on this. We'll see. I think I did. Look at this. I gotta get my glasses on. It's so small. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I think everybody will really like what we're doing with this. There we go. Let's see if it allows me to do it. Yeah, that should have done it. Okay, there we go. Okay, we're cool. All right,
dude, I still love that green lighting. That's cool. I like that.
Yeah,
color.
we put a lot of work into that to have it look really, really nice, and I think we did a pretty good job on it. Now you'll see that right over here I've got the individual parts. I'm getting it set up. I'm going to end up doing that. But let me show you here what I'm talking about. Oh, I got this hooked up to ground. God dang it. Okay, let me go back the other way now. I'll do it this way.
Yeah, I thought you were saying you were going to the Journeyman.
Yeah, I've just... I don't have everything completely done yet, as you can tell. Okay, let me go here to my blog because I can show it here. Okay, so here I'll look at motor breaker sizing, and when you get in this, I'll show you the illustration I'm talking about. Okay, right here. Now, when you're looking at this right here, anywhere on this illustration, you can come here and just hover above. Say I just wanted to look at table 430.52C1. All you're going to do is hover above it, click it. It's going to pull up the section, and then you can go back. Now, the coolest feature on this here is right over here to help you learn how to do these calculations. You're going to see the steps here, okay? And then you're going to see fill in the blank. Now, all you do when you get into the online course is all you do is hover above that blank and click, and then you put in the values. So you actually go through the values and work the calculation all the way down. And then right below it, I'll have what we call an accordion file that'll be set down below this with the answer key. And after you've answered everything, all you're going to do is click that. And then like you see here, A, B, C, D, F, G, all that, all you do is just look and see what the answers are there and check to see if you did it correctly.
Nice.
So that's
cool.
And the cool thing is you can work it, and then after you're finished, I go into explaining it in further detail for you. So I'll have a video after that, and in the video, as I'm talking about it, these values start populating in the fields as I'm going through it. And anywhere on that video, you can stop and check the section to see what I'm telling you is correct, and I'll be explaining the section to you, or the table, whatever, how I'm getting this information. And then you just take your time, follow. You can spend as much time as you need on that one illustration just to make sure you understand it thoroughly. And you'll have the audio portion and everything there. And I'm telling you, I've actually have improved the way that the videos look now. So
just to let everyone know, the fill in the blank thing was my idea. I told James, I said, it'd be really cool if you could just fill in the blank. And he's like, all right, cool, I'll set it up like that, Willie. I was like, all right. Thanks a lot, bro. So
I got to tell a quick story on that. When my dad, he had to go out of town. He was doing a lot of teaching stuff. And he goes, he told me what he wanted me to do when we updated the journeyman. And I started looking at it, and I was like, I don't like that. I just didn't like it. So I developed I did 3 illustrations with that fill in the blank and set it up with the sections, everything. I worked with Billy. Billy did the illustrations, and Dad got back about a week and a half later, and we had a meeting, and we were sitting there, and he goes, "What the hell is this?" And I said, "Well, no, wait a minute before you guess." He goes, "Now, damn it, you need to do what I tell you. I've been doing this longer than you, and I know what they need." And I said, "Well, let me show it to you." And I said, "If you still want to go back to what you want to do," I said, "We'll do it. We're trying to set a template up for us to lay the books out." And so I went up there and I was working the problem, showing him and everything and going through it. And he sat there and he goes, "Hell, I guess that'll be all right." He didn't even say good job. He goes, "Oh, hell, I guess that's all right." He didn't want to admit that he liked what I did better. And so
that's
from
funny.
that point, we did the journeyman and the masters that way. So,
oh, wow.
And I will tell you, when you get to the masters, there will be a few more calculations that are in the chapters, but where the big part takes place is when you get in and you start doing the full residential and the full commercial calculations. And we've got them where they'll be broken down step by step. And you just can't do it in one illustration. It'll be in multiple ones that I'll break down, and you just work it all the way down. And each, like you'll do a part, say you're doing commercial, we'll set it up to where you do the lighting loads, then you do the receptacle loads, then you do the special appliance loads, then you do the motor loads, then you do the compressor loads, then you do the largest between the heating and AC load, and then your final one, your largest motor load. We'll have it broke down like that. And then for the residential, what we're going to add in the residential for 2023, you'll have where you do the calculation for your electrical vehicle service equipment, because it's a separate one now. It doesn't fall under the fixed appliance anymore. So we're going to add that in. So that's what we've done, people.
Hey, I want to just let you know, James, I have you a new blog for your blog page. I just learned on Saturday. I was blown away by this, and I'll play the audio on my Spotify version. Mm-hmm. But Paul Abernathy won the Top Gun award of all educators, and I didn't even know this. I actually reached out over on the Mike Holt forum and asked anybody if they heard about this Top Gun competition between all these educators, and nobody heard about it. A few of the guys said that they've been following Mike for a long time and they never heard of a Top Gun competition. So between all these educators, so I don't know. Says he won it. Said he won the presentation version.
It must have been one that Mike did. The original one that was gonna happen was done by Joe McPartland with ECNM. And what ended up happening was I can't remember everybody that was. I know Dad was going to be in it, and I think John Calogero, and I can't remember everybody. It's been so long ago. And Mike was going to be in it. Well, when Dad was going to get in it, then Mike wanted to be the moderator of it, which that wasn't happening. That was Joe McPartland. And since Mike couldn't be the moderator, personally, I think he didn't want to go against Dad, which I wouldn't either. But he decided, I'm not doing it. So that is the original, and that happened back in about 1988. It's funny because back in 1988, I remember Dad, we had gone to a meeting. They were having a show that was in New York, and New York and New Jersey presented Dad with an award in 1988 as the top electrical instructor in the country. And I even have the plaque. So Jeremy Weed, any of y'all want to say show me? I'll go find it because we got it packed now. I'll go find that and show you where they gave him that award as the top. So, and it was probably his books started taking off because I remember he was teaching when I was in middle school. So he was teaching at the Union. So that was back in about 1974. So, he's been doing it, 50 years. So, I remember him when I was in high school and him writing the publications in there and everything at the house. And I think it was probably about when they really started becoming really, really popular was probably about 1988. And I think in 1986, he started teaching for NFPA. So, uh, uh, you go back. That's why I know so much about things that happen. If I want to know something, all I have to do is go ask him and get the dates. But
because I remember you were talking about it, the Top Gun competition, and that was like the first time I ever heard of it. And then when I started asking around, like they didn't know anything about any Top Gun competition. Like they said that it was Mike Holt's Top Gun competition, but I don't think it was called that.
No, the Top Gun it was called Top Gun when Joe McPartland was going to put it together with EC&M, and they were going to have some of the top educators out there, and they pretty much, I think they all backed out when they heard Dad was going to be in it. And I remember at one of the IEI meetings in the northeast section, I guess what it was called, we went up there and Joe McPartland introduced Dad. And this has been quite a while before he became with his publications. He was telling everybody this is the up and coming new instructor that everybody needs to get to know. And he was the chief electrical inspector for the city of Fort Worth at the time. And all that's true. That's not made up. All that's a fact. And then it was shortly a few years after that, they had him over one of the code making panels. He's chaired like 4 or 5 different code making panels. And when they had the hazardous was all screwed up and everything, they hired Dad back then as a special expert. They wasn't even letting him on, but they put him on because it was so screwed up. And Dad brought people in from the oil and gas industry, chemical industry, people he knew, and they said, put whoever you want on it, we will make room for them. And within 2 cycles, they had that thing fixed back up looking good. So he was the chairman and all that. And the reason I know all that, because I was his alternate, and I was the one that was having to get, back then they didn't have, the way they do it now with the computer stuff. I had to set everything and group everything that was coming in and then put them all together and put them in attachments for everybody. So there may have been, 100 and something attachments, and everybody had them set up in those attachments so they could look at them and make any changes and stuff, and then they could do their vote on it. So
that's awesome.
I've been doing it a long time too, brother. So.
Oh, dude, Oscar, what's up, brother? Welcome in, sir.
Hey, Oscar. All right, let's get some other stuff. I hope everybody actually enjoyed looking at that, because that your every page you're going to see is going to be that detailed, and just even from just publications, what you have access to, the way that we're doing it. I encourage you to go check anything out there. You're not going to see it like that. And the great thing is, anytime you want to have access, it's once you buy that publication, if you purchase a publication, if it's a monthly thing that you're doing, you quit paying, of course it goes away. But if you purchase it, it always stays in your account. You can reference that anytime that you want to.
Dude, Oscar, we stole all the debates crowd that night because we had such an awesome podcast over here in the night of the debate. But yeah, old bumbling, stumbling Joe, he's hopefully on his way out. But we'll see what's up with that.
You missed the podcast, Oscar. I said, man, I feel really bad for them putting on the debate. I said, all the millions and millions of people that are over here instead of watching the debate.
Right. All right. Well, I guess we could roll the meme. I did a little shout out to Katie this week for getting her test.
All right, here we go, Katie. Congratulations.
Yeah, so that's so awesome.
Awesome.
Katie, I met her on social media a long time ago on one of my groups, and she's always been kind of engaged with us and stuff. So it means a lot. She'd come in here and see her shout out. So that's so awesome. This is like probably the third or fourth time we've had a shout out for Colorado's newest journeyman on the show live. So that's pretty awesome. It means a lot to me.
It's amazed me how many more and more people are just watching the podcast and joining the groups and checking things out, and I'll just say I appreciate all the messages that people send to me. I had a guy that sent one the other day. His name was Ray. He's a dude, just keep up the work. He goes, I see what you're talking about. He goes, I can't wait till it's ready. And so I just want to tell him thanks for sending that out to me. So,
all right. Well, I guess we're getting ready for the myth of the week.
Here we go.
It's time for Myth of the Week.
All right. Well, thanks so much, everyone, for the participation this week. I always have a great time doing them. I cracked over 100,000 this week. This is an actual drawing that I got from the job site, and thanks so much, Katie. That's freaking awesome. Like I say, I just love helping people out, helping them learn the NEC. And one of the things that you'll notice about this, I thought James would think was interesting, is they show all the conductors coming off of that. I guess that's like an MDP section is what they're showing, and they're showing all those terminating to a 2-aught. So they're showing the ground rod, they're showing the Uper ground. They're showing everything terminating 2-aught. Well, then it actually shows an arrow pointing to a number 4 copper conductor for the Uper encased in 2 inches of concrete, So I thought that was pretty funny because I thought you could just, I thought you had to, you could just stub out a piece of rebar, but if you have this drawing that tells you that has to be a number 4 copper encased in the concrete, that's what you have to do. So a lot of this stuff is all engineered, and I argued with them a little bit on this, but the whole myth was based on if we're using multiple rod, pipe, or plate electrodes are installed to meet the requirements of 250.53a, they shall not be less than 6 foot apart. And I know James has a lot of interesting engineering on this. It kind of blew me away a little bit. But like I say, I would, after talking with King James, I would probably put him at like 8 foot. That would probably be my goal, just to put them all at 8 foot from now on. But I know I've tried to skirt it as close as I could before. I remember just measuring it exactly 6 foot, and I don't think there's that much big of a difference, but you will have like some canceling effect if you get them too close together. And I have seen them where they're like 3 foot apart, and there's really no use of putting 2 ground rods at that point.
That's true,
in my opinion.
And one of the things when you get in and you start looking at this, when you look at there's 2 parts here. You got A and B. You got where you're doing the supplemental electrode, then they talk about the spacing, and of course the spacing has to be at least 6 foot. But when you look at that supplemental electrode, I want you to look at the informational note. and it tells you the paralleling efficiency of rods is increased by spacing them twice the length of the longest rod.
Yep.
So,
We had a few comments in there on that, so appreciate the comments. People put that in there.
yeah, and you've heard me say this before when we were going through this, and this is one of the illustrations in our publication. And one of the things that I talked about is when you look at 53A2 exception and you're looking at determining and calculating what the resistance of that rod is, you can see if you got 120 volts there and you take and divide that by 25 ohms, that's going to give you 4.8 amps. Okay, that is going to how you determine that resistance and what that amperage is going to be there. Okay, now when you go and look at the paralleling efficiency there, we tell you to increase it by 2, but where this come out of where they did this testing was IEEE, and basically IEEE said the best way to get the resistance to ground is to be at least 12 foot away, but they recommend if you can do it, you want to take the rod and go twice that length. So basically what they're saying is you want to be 16 foot apart.
Okay? With an 8-foot rod.
With an 8-foot rod. So you got 8 foot and 8 foot. That's 8 times 2, 16. So basically you get 16 foot apart. Basically what you're doing, you're not impeding on that other rod to get that resistance to ground. So if you took this here, if you got 25 ohms to ground and then you put 50 ohms on there, now what do? You knock it down. And that's what they're trying to tell you. So instead of being 4.8 amps, now you get it down to 2.4 amps. You see what I'm saying? That is what they're going to do. You're going to do it. Okay, now this is something we talked about a while back. I think you'll remember this. But you were talking to me about some engineering plans, and they were going to a concrete encased electrode. They really didn't need the rod out there. And what they did, they put a rod there and said to go at least 6 foot away, and they connected the rods. And you were like, well, why would they need that? And I said, well, it sort of depends. I said they may be setting that up because they have lightning protection for the building and they're tying all that in. But what a lot of them do in that case, that they'll take and put a ground ring around the building, and then at different points they'll drive the ground rods and then interconnect the grounding electrode system in with the service. Okay. Right. So it just sort of depends how they're set up, but we actually show in our grounding book how to do all that stuff. And we also take there was one, I forgot who asked me this, but they were saying, why would I take and do a 3/0 over to the rod into a cold water pipe? And I said, well, it just sort of depends. I said, because they may be doing a loop system. I said, I hadn't seen the system, but they may come down and hit building steel. Then they, from the building steel, they may go to a cold water pipe. And then from the cold water pipe, they may be going to, say, a ground rod. And then from there, or let's say they go to a ground ring. And then from the ground ring, you're going to a rod, and then from there you're going to a concrete encased electrode. Well, depending on how the system is set up, if you're coming down to a building steel, say it's a 1/0, then I go over to a cold water pipe, that's 1/0 because it tells you have to size it based on the table. But then from there I can come down and I can hit a ground ring, which is a number 2, and then from there I can come off of that and go hit, say, a concrete encased electrode, a number 4, and then from there, from the concrete encased electrode to the rod, a number 6. But if I reversed all of that, then I would have to go with a 3/0 to the ground, to the rod first, then the concrete guy'd have to do it. because it'd have to be based on what the largest one is at the end of it. So
Right.
and we showed you those different type of loop systems that we've seen through the years and how to go about applying the grounding properly there. Okay.
All right. Well, it looks like Cameron doesn't want to join, can't join because he's too tired. So, do you think we could maybe do the Willie quiz if people are wanting to jump in? I know Cesar wanted to join, but I don't know if we could jump ahead to the Willie quiz.
We can do it if you want to. We can do anything we want to do. It's our podcast.
Yeah, I agree. So, dude, Cesar's coming up to rep the old Texas vibe. So, oh man, we might get Daniel up in here too. So it might be Texas versus Colorado tonight. So that'd be pretty awesome.
Okay.
But
you want to do the topic real quick, or is everybody already here?
It sounds like Caesar's getting ready to jump in here in a second. So he says he'll be there in a moment. So, I hear somebody.
Gypsy.
All right. So Cesar's in here. So, and I don't know. Daniel might jump in too.
Let me go ahead and do the topic real quick until he comes in.
All right, there he is.
Hello, guys.
How you doing, brother?
What's up, Cesar? Hook 'em horns over there from Longhorn Country.
Okay, what do you want to do first?
Let's do the Willie quiz.
Okay.
Let's just roll it.
All right.
All right. No, it was awesome intro. Thanks so much to Adam from Team SOS for getting it put together. So the topic this week is going to be Olympics. And which country has won more total Olympic medals? And this goes for hockey. It goes for all Olympics, winter and summer, the USA or Canada. Good luck, everyone. All right, old DJ just popped in, so awesome. Thanks for jumping in, Daniel. So Daniel's going B, Canada. Katie's going A, USA.
I'm going A. That's the easy one.
I don't know. Canada's won a lot of winter golds. A lot of winter golds.
I think two of your top one or top three is probably what? Canada, Russia, and USA.
Yeah. What do you got, Cesar? It's kind of a tough one.
I would say A, based on the fact that I think that the U.S. is more competitive in sports than Canada. Well, other than hockey. No offense to Canadians, but I mean, until now, for example, soccer, Canada wasn't as successful as they would have liked. And, I'm just going to go with the good old USA. By the way, if you see somebody in the background, that's probably my parents.
Okay.
Well, I would
That's
go
fine.
through and say you look at track and field, you look at swimming and all of those, USA dominates all of that.
Yeah. But Canada dominates the winter, and so Daniel could have a really good answer, and he could steal the win. And he doesn't. Looks like Katie and Cesar and King James take the red, white, and blue answer for this one, and it's pretty decisive. I can't remember what it was. It was like 1100 to like 900 or something like that.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't. It was pretty close actually. It wasn't as far off as you'd think, but Canada has won a lot of the winter sports, so.
Yep, probably curling and
yeah,
hockey, of course.
Like figure skating, a lot of the skating stuff. Like the Canadians, like pretty much are born with this pair of skates on. All right, question number 2: in which year did the USA first participate in the Winter Olympics? Was it A, 1924? Was it B, 1932? Was it C, 1948? Or was it D, 1960? Good luck, everyone. Ooh, Daniel already Googled it. Goes with B.
I was going between A and B. Now I think didn't the first Olympics start I think it started in Greece like in 1880s or 90s, something like that, didn't it?
Yeah, they started the Winter Olympics. So they started the first Olympics. They restarted them in 1898 or 1887 or something like that.
In
and
Greece,
then they didn't start. Yeah, and they didn't start the winter until later.
Yeah, it was the like track and field stuff that they did. Golly, I think they would have. The United States would have been as early as possible. I would think. If we were. I'm gonna go with 1924.
So it looks like Katie copies King James at 1924. Where are you at on it, Cesar?
That's a tough one, actually. I think I looked this up a few hours ago or so, or maybe not. Oh. Okay. I guess I'll go with A, just like King James and who else?
Texas
Brothers.
Brothers. Texas Brothers crashed together. So we have all our answers in here, and the answer is A, 1924. Katie gets a win. King James gets a win. Daniel is going with the controversial answers tonight, and it is not paying off. He's gonna get one. He's gonna get one. It's gonna pay off, Daniel. Trust me. All right. Canada hosted the Winter Olympics for the first time in which city? A, Calgary, B, Vancouver, C, Montreal, or D, Toronto? Good luck, everyone. And right away, Daniel just fires right away. He already Googled it again. So he's got Montreal. That's a good answer, Daniel. I really like that.
I was going to say A or B. I didn't think it's Montreal. Golly, A or B?
Looks like Katie's not going to be able to copy you. Katie's going with A. She's going with her streak A, so you'd be copying Katie if you go with A.
Well, I did the flip. I got B. So I went between A and B. I'm going to go with B. The flip of the coin, 50-50, it landed on tails tonight. So I'm going Vancouver.
All right. Where are you at, Cesar?
Yeah, here's the thing. Usually, whenever you're hosting like a big sports event, you'd probably host it in like, say, the most populous place in the country. So you would think it would be D, Toronto, or B, Vancouver. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think in 2010 they hosted in Vancouver.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember because of the Canucks goal horn. So, based on that logic, I guess they hosted in the same country twice. You know what? Out of curiosity, I'm just going to go with A. If it's B, then it wouldn't surprise me, but I'll go with A.
All right, and anyone who picked A is correct. It was Calgary. It was the first time that they hosted the Winter Olympics, and man, looks like I got both King James and Daniel this week. Good answers, Katie and Cesar. Awesome. So much fun doing these.
Good one.
Yeah. It surprised me because, Calgary, like, it's a city, but I think Vancouver and Toronto would have been, more popular choices.
Yeah, Toronto for sure. All right, question number 4. Which American athlete has won the most Olympic medals in history? Was it A, Carl Lewis? Was it B, Michael Phelps? Was it C, Mark Spitz? Was it D, Simone Biles? Good luck, everyone.
I'll let everybody guess because I know this one.
All right, so Daniel's out of the gate right away with B. Ooh, Katie, Carl Lewis. Yeah, that's a good answer. Carl Lewis, that was a really good story.
Go ahead, Caesar. Caesar.
Yeah. Funny that they say B because I know someone who doesn't live here. He lives in Canada. He has a similar name. So you know what? In honor of him, I'll go with B.
You would be correct. It was Michael Phelps. Then it was Carl Lewis. Then Mark Spitz and Simone Biles. She ain't even up on the top. But Carl Lewis, I think, has one more than Mark Spitz does. But Spitz had the most before Carl Lewis did, and then Michael Phelps competed in all kinds of events in swimming. He is by far, he's probably like 12, 13 medals ahead of second place. So it's B. Go ahead and say it. It's B.
Oh, King James, I can't believe it. Man, this is really hard. You are correct. It was Phelps, and I think he won like 20 medals that
yeah, he's like 20
one.
Something. I can't remember. And I think, what's Carl Lewis? He's like 9 or 8, something like that.
Yeah, he's up there though. But
I think he's got one more than Spitz does.
Yeah, so Michael Phelps, he won all those medals, and then they caught him smoking weed or whatever at a party.
Yeah.
And it made a big deal out of it. 'Cause he's on the Wheaties box and everything.
Oh yeah,
But,
I remember that one. All right.
Yeah. Oh, Katie, it's good. Like Katie's leading so far. She's winning. So, you know, you can get one wrong. You're still winning. All right. Question number 5. At the 2010 Vancouver Winter Olympics, which Canadian athlete became the first to win a gold medal in their home soil? Was it A, Sidney Crosby? Was it Alexander Bladenoff? Was it C, Haley Wickenheiser? Was it D, Clara Hughes? Good luck, everyone. All right, so you mentioned earlier, Cesar, the 2010 Vancouver Winter Olympics. You are correct on that. And right away, we have Daniel coming up with A. He's already got Google. He's already shot Google in there. Dude, Daniel, you're hot tonight. Daniel's hot.
Yeah, it's hot. Yeah, I remember this one. I think I was in my old home, which, by the way, is falling apart. But, you know, Sidney Crosby was playing back then. He was drafted in 2005, if I'm not mistaken, by the Penguins. And, of course, I was watching RNBC, and
Katie's going A. Oh, great answer, Katie. She can't deviate now.
Yeah. Before I say my answer, I'll try to pronounce B. It's not my answer, but Alexander Bilodeau. It's a French surname,
Okay.
but it's A.
Yeah, I can't pronounce that. I'm probably a little bit better than Adam with pronunciations.
Yeah.
Like Adam just be like, I'm not.
A is my answer. Sidney Crosby, 100%.
Well, I'm going to be the one that deviates because I sort of remember this being a big deal. I remember I was doing a class. I was up in Toronto during the Olympics when this took place. And I remember everybody making a big deal because she was the first one to win the gold medal on their home soil. And I remember exactly, and it's like you said, it was a French name, and it was Alexandre Bilodeau. And that just, the only reason I know it is because I was up there teaching, everybody was talking about it, and they were saying her name and everything. So if I remember this correctly, from when I was there, this happened. That is the answer, is Bilodeau. And I think I'm 99.9% sure in my mind that that's what it was. So I'm going with B.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if King James is correct, he takes the win and ties with Miss Katie Curtin. And he's correct. The answer is B. So we have a tie quiz, and King James and Katie tie, and it was really awesome. And dude, Daniel took a really rogue approach. Like he wanted to take all the controversial answers to try to get you, King James. He was trying. Daniel's on mute, huh?
I wouldn't have known that, but I was actually in Toronto. Well, I wasn't actually teaching a class. I was up there for a meeting, and we were up there looking at on the 70 committee is why we were up there, and it was due. We were looking at something from the company Oberon, who does all the clothing for your PPE and stuff. That's how I knew.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, I mean, I was thinking I was gonna get you on that one. Like I try to get that far north, Canadian stuff. Maybe think I might get you on it, but man, you're a Texan that knows a little bit about Canada. So like I say, we have to give the props up there, people up north, and
I've
some of
actually
these.
been to Canada about 10 times, and
Nice.
I've been all over Canada. The first time I ever crossed over into Canada, I was teaching a class in Buffalo, and I drove down and I crossed right there where the Niagara Falls is, and I went over and hung out and stayed at the hotel. They had a casino right there as you go over the river there, and I hung out for a day there and hung out at the casino, played and everything, then got the next day and played the golf course that was there. So,
Nice.
and then I've been to Toronto 2 or 3 times. I've actually been to Calgary. I've been to Vancouver, I think, 4 times. So yeah, I've been all over that place.
All right. Well, like I say, Cesar, you're welcome to hang out with us and just enjoy the rest of our show. We have like a few more segments that we're gonna do, and like I say, I can't believe that we're already at an hour and a half and we haven't even done Tool yet. We usually do the Tool like at about half hour mark. But let's go ahead and roll Tool.
Let's.
It's time for Tool Review of the Week. Sponsored by Electricians Only Tool Review and Nipex Tradesman.
All right, so I decided to switch it up this week because one of the guys out there does podcasts says that I'm just a Milwaukee and a DeWalt fanboy. So I'm going with the cheapest fan I could find. It's the mini. What is that? Is that mini fans?
Mifanstech. I had to go. You didn't tell me what it was. I had to go find and search that thing to know who made it.
All right.
And they call it.
I should have given you the. I should have given you the description, but like this is literally the fan that I have in my office, and I freaking love it. Like it works great. It's not Milwaukee. It's not DeWalt, and like I say, it does pretty good. I mean, it's rechargeable on a USB. It's like a 5-6 volt charge, and it has a light on it. Like that's really cool because you can actually stay cool while you're looking at your code book and trying to prove King James wrong. And that's the real fun about doing these tool reviews is that you can have these products that are not necessarily tools, but just things that you could use. This is sold at Walmart, and it's pretty good, cheap thing to buy. And like I say, it's rechargeable, has a 3-level light on it, and it has a variable speed fan on it. And like I say, stay cool in July, and that's probably one of the best products that I'd get if you're trying to avoid paying that $100 for like a DeWalt or Milwaukee or whatnot. But just giving you a heads up there, Daniel, you might be able to just like put it right there on your ladder, just have it just chilling, and just charge it up with your phone like when you're on break or whatever.
All right, let's see. Got me a question.
Daniel on mute? You on mute, Daniel? I think Daniel's on mute. There you go. Now you're not.
All right. Let's look at your question.
Yeah, I can't hear Daniel.
All right.
All right, the question. Let's see if we get him.
Individual outside. Oh, okay. So you're over in 225.4. C 10 foot.
Oh, James, you are correct. That is the pretty correct answer. So
was it section 220.4, 225.4?
225.4, correct.
Yeah, I thought that's what it was.
I don't know, something's up with your mic, Daniel. I can't hear you. Like your audio's not coming through. Like I saw that you're off mute, but it's still not coming through audio.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah,
I had it muted
right
on my keyboard right here, so.
Oh, all right. Yeah, you were like double muted because I saw you were muted in the stream, and then you started talking and you were still muted.
I thought you
But
muted him on
it's-
purpose.
You know what? I didn't want to have to. I didn't want to have him say that. You know, he was a 5-time champ. Just got took out by King James. You know what I mean? So, you know, that was gonna be rough. You know, it was gonna be hard to explain to Daniel. Like, oh man,
Just call me-
5-time champ.
just
Bill
call me
get this
stud.
joke. I hope everyone had a safe 4th and didn't put any leftover fireworks in the smart vendors at work, you know.
Oh, dude, that's a good story. So Daniel remembers this. Like, they have this smart bender, and it's like a computerized bender for all kinds of pipe. It's designed to go in a shop and just sit there, but they had it in this travel trailer, and they were traveling around, and they had it rolling around on gas and oil projects, you know. Well, I go out there, I roll it out, and I had this little procedure that I did, and this is it was in a really flammable area. Like, it was in a tank farm. Like, they had basically where they brought in all this different petroleum. They had jet fuel in there. They had all kinds of stuff in there. Like, it was highly flammable, you know. And I roll this smart bender out. I get ready to go bend a little offset, you know. And I start up the generator. I freaking plug it in, you know. I don't think it was meant to run off a generator either, you know. And I put it my piece of 2-inch rigid in there, and I started going, and I'm doing the bend on my first bend. I'm looking at the degrees, and all of a sudden it just says boom, 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 just like starts blowing up, and I'm like, holy crap, you know. So I have to like kill the generator. Luckily there was a blanket there. I grab the blanket, I throw it over top of the freaking bender, you know. It's just sitting there. I mean, it was the biggest explosion I've ever seen in my life, you know. And I don't know what happened. Something rattled loose in there and just touched ground, and I mean, it was crazy. Like, it was like this massive explosion. Well, the foreman and Daniel worked with this foreman before. He gets really excited pretty easily, you know. He's all the way across the thing. You idiot! You dummy! What are you doing? You know? And I was like, I have no idea what happened, you know? And, like, it was weird. It was the weirdest thing ever, you know? And, like, the guy from the plant, he came over. He's like, man, you did everything right. You followed all the safety procedure. You shut the generator down. You freaking, you know, threw a tarp over that bender, got it to where the fire eyes didn't see it, you know, because if the fire eyes see that, they're going to they're going to ESD the whole plant, you know. Mm-hmm. And that's like $1 million, you know. So I did everything right the way you're supposed to. I contained it. I did everything, like shut everything down, you know. I knew I was thinking while it happened. And then they fired me because they thought I put fireworks in the bender.
Huh.
And I was like, all right, whatever. Like, I was happy leaving because I was like, if you guys are that dumb, then whatever. I was like, I didn't put no fireworks in there, but whatever. I was like, later, you know. And the whole thing was, I got home, and I'll never forget it. I got home, I cracked a beer, and I took a drink, and I was like, that actually freaking happened? You know, like, it was so crazy. It was like such a tense moment, and like everything. And I've been on that job for like a year. And the plant was like, they were really happy. Like, they were like, oh, your safety's impeccable. You have all your sheets filled out. Everything's good. Did everything right. And they're just like, yeah, we have to let you go. You just destroyed a $4,000 bender. And I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm like, okay, whatever. You know, like, I didn't mean to, you know. Like, I mean, been using it for a year. Never had any problems. But just rattling around in that trailer, you know, just wasn't good for it. And then probably running on a generator too, because a lot of those sensitive electronics, they're not designed to be ran on generator power for a long period of time. Like if you're doing it every day, like it might be something where you just do it like once in a while, but because you don't have that, you have those, you know, erratic sine waves. So that's something for you to know too, Cesar. When you're designing electrical equipment, a lot of times what we do, you put in these SPDs, or called surge protection devices. What happens is you have these spikes on your AC, and that SPD comes in and chops those spikes off, And then what that does is that helps protect sensitive electrical equipment when you put those SPDs in there, and makes it more friendly for sensitive electrical equipment. So learned a lesson, and I appreciate it, Daniel. Daniel learned a lesson too on that one. So do not put fireworks in benders.
Yeah. Highly flammable.
But so what do we got? We got the wall of shame ready.
Yeah, let me cue it up.
Shame. 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 Shame.
So this one goes in the meme wall of shame because it was posted like so many times, and I was like, okay, dude, all right, I'll approve it, but it's gonna go in the wall of shame, picture of the week, because it got like, I think it got posted like 6 times. I deleted like 5 and I approved 1 or something, but it was just funny, and I was just like, all right. I saw it so many times it has to go in the wall of shame picture, and kind of dumb, but it was just funny. I was like, okay. I was like, this has to be the wall of shame picture. Because we all know that natural light does not improve electricity flow.
That would be true, and plus he's missing quite a few teeth there.
Yeah? True.
That's funny.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Appreciate you guys showing up. Like I say, we always have fun doing these, and I always try to tune into like your show, Cesar. You have a really good show set up. I like the screens like you put in, the way you do it for like the news articles and stuff. It's really cool. So you guys out there, check out Cesar Blanco's channel. Are you on Team SOS? Is that your channel?
Adam actually is the main host on Team SOS, but I did create a Team SOS Plus in case, something happens and he can't stream there or on his regular channel. I also be coming on Team SOS Plus every once in a while.
Okay.
Eventually, we have a podcast called Vibing with SOS. And
who made up that name?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And yeah. He's going to set up something on Discord that allows us to be on there eventually.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I told him, I said, you know what a good name would be? Vibing with SOS. That'd be sweet.
Yeah. Me, Metro. Oh, Metro is the mastermind behind the logo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, shout out to Metro. Thanks so much for Metro being a supporter. And, dude, we love the collaborations with all the different podcasts and everything. And thanks so much for giving a shout out for, like, your podcast. And are you trying to split it up? Or are you trying to do, like, Vibing with SOS as, like, a different topic or anything? Because I know Adam just streamed the Passion of the Christ movie. Dude, I was blown away, James. He's sitting there streaming the Passion of the Christ movie, and it was on YouTube and everything, He put, like, the logo over it, like the Passion of the Christ logo over it. But it was really cool. I've never seen anybody do that before.
Yeah, he actually showed the movie, well, sort of, but part of it did get blocked, but he removed it, and it's online again. And
okay.
What else? Concerning my channel, I tried to do kind of like a Q&A. Like, I'm not sure if you know Tom Grossi on YouTube. He's a big Packers fan of the year, by the way. He does this thing called Packcast Podcast.
Nice.
It's usually a Q&A on Friday or whatnot, and he answers multiple questions, and if he has time. Like, for example, one time he was looking at real estate with the whole channel, with the whole viewers.
Nice.
So it's kind of an ad lib that I've decided to incorporate. And
That's cool.
Except, instead of real estate, I chose news.
Okay, that's cool. Well, did I inspire you with like the Willie Quiz to try to do like a little quiz segment?
Oh yeah, I've been setting up a quiz.
Nice.
Yeah.
Dude, it's gonna be totally hard. Like, so if you invite me to your quiz, I'll be like Mike Holt. I'll just shut it down. I'll be like, nope, I can't ask the questions. I'm done. I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I love doing those, and I think like Coach Frenchie of the Hockey Nation Live podcast, he does Frenchie. He used to do a Frenchie quiz. He hasn't done it in a long time, but he would do the Frenchie quiz, and dude, I was like zero. I'd get zero right the whole time. Like, he had so much hockey knowledge, and I was kind of like Daniel. I'd always try to get those controversial answers where I'd be like, that's Mark Messier. It's like, oh, Mark Messier wasn't even in the league then, I'm like, oh, dang it, But it was fun. They mess with my head a little bit, but it was a lot of fun doing them. That's why I was inspired by Coach Frenchie. Big shout out to Hockey Nation Live channel and Coach Frenchie's Frenchie quiz. That's what inspired me to do the Willie Quiz. So if I can inspire somebody else to do it, that's awesome. I'd love to do it.
I'm working on a quiz, and it's going to be about logos from the NHL. Not just the primary logos, but, secondary, alternate, old logos from, heck, maybe teams from the 70s, teams that don't exist anymore. And by the way, I was going to say this, but I forgot. You're welcome to join either on my channel or on Team SOS Plus, or if Adam can, figure it out eventually, I know he will. Team SOS, the main channel.
Okay. Sweet.
Plus
Well, here's to Adam. Pickle shot. It's free pickle shot Thursday, so I got my pickle shot, and there you go.
Yeah. Speaking of drinking, I today is 7-Eleven day.
Getting your free Slurpee?
Yeah.
Getting your free Slurpee.
Yeah, and Adam got one, I think, or maybe not, but it is July 11, which is 7-Eleven day, as I call it. I actually filmed a short on YouTube of me getting a Slurpee. They allow you a free Slurpee. Only one, but still. I got it, and the cashier was there as well. Very nice.
So
cashier.
James doesn't know this. I don't know if James knows this. So I was late. I was a little bit late to the podcast tonight. I usually get here early, But what happened was there's 3 7-Elevens on the way home. So I had to stop at all 3 to get my free Slurpee. So that's what happened, James. I just so you know, I just full disclosure. I didn't want to tell you, but I had to stop at all 3 7-Elevens, get a free Slurpee. I had to like push a few kids out of the way to get the larger size, but it they actually had 2 sizes that you could get for free, and so I had to make sure that that all our stuff was in line, so that I made it to the podcast on time, and I was still on time, but I was just later than usual, So I just wanted you to know I was fighting a little bit of lines and stuff to try to get my free Slurpee,
Get that big gulp.
It's 7-Eleven day, and it's funny because like everyone at the job site, they'll be like, "Hey Bill, what day is it?" And I'll be like, "It's podcast day." And so it's pretty cool. Katie knows all about it. Katie's like, "Oh, Bill, are you gonna freaking say that thing?" And then all of a sudden, when the data guy comes by, he's like, "Hey, Bill, what day is it?" I was like, "Podcast day." And then Katie just shook her head. She's like, "Oh man, no, really." What I mean? It was funny, but it's cool to have Katie jump in here. She's been really interactive tonight, and it's been a lot of fun. And I don't know if you know Daniel, but Katie got her journeyman's license on Wednesday, and and dude, look, see, everyone says I'm a liar. Everyone says I'm a liar. It's true. That's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. She's like, nope, I don't care if it's podcast day or not. But it's so much fun, and it means a lot for James putting them together. Like, James does a lot of work. We try to get some sound bites together. And like I say, if you guys go check out Nat King Code podcast on Spotify, I'm going to totally re-record my podcast, and I'll have sound bites of the whole entire this episode and everything on there. And I'll put it all together to where it all aligns with exactly what happened. I didn't really know the whole story. I knew it had something to do with them not wanting to do the Top Gun competition because your dad was going. But I thought that they were trying to get a whole bunch of educators and they couldn't get enough educators. That's what I thought in my head happened. But I was wrong. You know what I mean? So my podcast I did was wrong. But it's all good. I'm willing to admit I was wrong and just, move on.
No worries. That, just luckily, I know everything that happened. So,
yeah.
That's one thing, Dad's been doing it 50 years. I've been doing it 35. So, and he was the original OG. I mean, he was the man, and I just couldn't. I could just come on here for the next year and just pull a new award up each show and show all the awards he got.
So Daniel, check this out. I told King James, I was like, dude, we got to start doing a show. This is cool because he's an electrical guy. I'm an electrical guy. We got to just be electrical guys. Just do a show, And so James, I think James was kind of reluctant at first, you know what I mean? But then I'm like, nah, dude, I could get you like music. We could put like different segments. I don't know if you were or not. Maybe you were all you're all for it. But
at first, I was more worried about figuring out the right stream software to use, and because it was all new to me, I've never done it. I'm really good on computers and programs and things like that, but you'll remember this. I spent 2 months just researching all the different ones, and then I said, I think
because I think we wanted to do it like December of 21, and I don't think we even got it off the ground till February of 22.
Yeah, and I kept looking. I just told him, I said, I'm going with StreamYard. And he was like, well, I don't think it does. I said, I'm reading about all this, and they're telling me about all these problems they have with the others and stuff. I mean, it's just like I was showing tonight, the new learning management system website and all of that. I spent a good 2 years just going through all the available ones that were out there, and I built complete things out just to see how they were working, because I got trials, 30 days, and I'd literally go in and say, no, that ain't gonna work. Then I do another one, that's close, and then I finally got to this one, and I started seeing where I could take objects and stuff and go in and set up and put JavaScript to tell it to do what I wanted it to do. And that's like,
so big shout out to StreamYard. Hope the check's in the mail. Hook and horns.
Every month, every month, $50, baby.
Yeah, there you go.
I know.
Big shout out to StreamYard, dude. I'll tell you what, I was actually blown away. I've actually said StreamYard's probably one of the best platforms out there, just because we don't get spammers in here. I mean, even the trolls have a hard time coming in here as like Gopher fan and all that, and like that to me is just amazing that you just have like only the people that are just positive to the stream, and you just keep out all those like Russian spammers and what we call the sex bots and all that stuff. You know, it's really cool. I haven't seen a single sex bot in our stream ever since we started, and that's freaking amazing. That's freaking cool because they're actually being like a mod. You know, like Cesar knows, a lot of times you have to have mods that actually block the sex bots and the Russian hackers.
Oh, yeah.
I have a really funny story about that, James. So there's this, we were doing a Stanley Cup stream, and there was this guy that came in and he was using Russian. He was talking in Russian, and they were like, oh, block this guy, you know. And I told the moderators, I was like, hang on, let's see what he said, you know. So I went over to ChatGTP real quick. I copied and pasted what he said, and I said something, and I put it back in the thing, and it says, oh, Bobrovsky is the goalie. He's doing really good tonight, you know. And so then they were like, oh, yeah, keep him in. He's cool, you know. And so, like, the whole night, I was sitting there going back and forth with ChatGTP. Every time he'd talk in Russian, I just copy and paste it, put it over ChatGTP. Says, oh, he says this now, you know. And so I was actually being a translator. And so it was cool because every time we see Russian words on the screen, we just think, oh, it's hacker, it's Russian hacker, you know. But he was actually a cool Russian dude who was just trying to enjoy the hockey and stream with us. And just to let you guys know, 666 likes on the stream. That was amazing. Amazing.
Yeah. I know there's a stream that does washing machine videos, or a channel that does washing machine streams. There are people who are like talking back at each other, and you know, there's only like 1 or 2 mods that are active there, and you know, it's just me watching. Hey, he said this and that, and I'm gonna block you, and this and that, and then you know, on another streamer, his name is The Bottom Line View. He's a football streamer, and he reacts to NFL games. Okay. Sometimes there may be a NFL bot, or I'm not sure what you call them, but they have the link of whatever scam they have as the name of their profile, and then they're spamming, and right there, the moderators have to take action, of course.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, dude, I really appreciate you joining us, Cesar. You really represented Texas and got a good win for the state of Texas tonight. Like I say, Colorado, we're a little slipping over there. Daniel's got to like pick it up. Like I say, Katie actually tied. So Katie pulled up the slack for you tonight, Daniel. So just feel lucky that you know, a journeyman with a little bit, just maybe about a year on you. You got a year on her. You know what I mean? So you know what I mean? Like it's all good. Like I say, we're all on these kind of like shit show nightmare projects that we're just trying to get done, and maybe if we could have like organized them for success better, then we'd leave less up to chance. Then you know what I mean, we might have a little bit better time getting out of there.
Bill, I don't want to hear whining. No whining.
He throws it back at me. Dude, I love that last week when I'm like, do you want me to call you a whiner? Do you want me to call you a whiner? You're like, no. Well, guess what? That's what's happening because you didn't want to work Sunday, 12 on Sunday, you whiner.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Yeah, my pleasure. You know, it's always nice to talk to y'all. And
awesome.
Yeah. Oh, one more thing. I'd like to shout out Cerebral Palsy Gamer. He's a Packers fan who reacts to NFL games as well. Kind of like okay. Tom Grossi. Oh, in fact, he did a video interviewing Tom Grossi, who has like 600K subscribers. And Cerebral Palsy Gamer, I think his name is Jay Kim. He has 1K. And you know what?
Right.
I think we may have found our first guest on Vibing with SOS.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah. If
Yeah, dude.
y'all,
I'm
yeah.
telling you, whoever made that name Vibing with SOS, I don't know who it was, but that dude's
I think that might have been Metro, actually.
no,
Either
it was
him or Adam.
me. It was me. I made it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you did?
Everyone said they love it. Metro was like, yeah, Vibing with SOS. That's bomb. I was like, all right, let's do it.
Yeah.
You know,
I
but
love-
the thing is that it was just like kind of that spontaneous. Like sometimes when you're in those live streams and somebody's like, hey, I need a name to something. Oh, dude, he got bombed with names that night. Like he had a bunch of them. Like there was a bunch. Like that was just one of mine. I probably had like 7 names I pitched him that night.
Oh, yeah. I gotta tell you.
That was one of them. Vibing
Yeah.
with SOS. I thought that's kind of cool because it's like, you know, like you're vibing with us right now, and you
Obviously.
might not even be a electrician or anything, and we're all vibing together. We're all having fun. We're all talking about, you know, stuff and just having a good time. Like I don't know if you saw before, Daniel, but it was so freaking embarrassing. Like when I heard the audio from Paul Abernathy, like, yeah, then I won the Top Gun competition. I won the presentation. I was like, what? I was like, no, you didn't. I was like,
You
I'll
know-
take things that didn't happen for 1,000.
I can specifically speak to that because the first one that had illustrations that he was shooting from was my dad, and he did it with transparencies. Then I don't know if y'all remember that, you know, the older guys will, but they used to have a projector and it had a carousel that you sat on it, and you had these like 2-inch by 2-inch little white slides that had a film in that they imprinted the illustration into, and you'd sat there and click at it, you know, as you were going through each one of them. And that was the second form of presentations that was done, which Dad had. And they actually started selling those at American Tech. They didn't sell the transparency. And then the third, of course, came out to be the PowerPoint presentation. So,
Dude, I need it.
if he won back in the late 80s, early 90s, it wasn't on presentation because the only one that had any of that stuff was Dad at that time. I know that for a fact.
I honestly, I actually want to do a quiz on what style of presentation would be in 1988. I say overhead projector in 1988, possibly.
I think
'Cause I
it was
think
overhead projector with the
slide.
carousel. Yeah, the carousel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember those. They were in my elementary school.
Yeah.
And, yeah, they had, well, in my elementary school, they had incandescent light bulbs, if I'm not mistaken. And then they switched
What?
to other.
Incandescent? Aren't
Or-
those illegal? No. I'm
Yeah,
just
well-
kidding.
Not back in the 1800s.
Yeah. Well, it was one of those lights that was like, whenever you turn it on, it would like, and then off, instead of LED, which is like, bing.
Yeah. Big difference.
It was one of those.
True.
I remember
Big difference.
we used to carry, because we were on the road so much, we always carried 2 extra bulbs just in case. Because we
Sure.
used to carry the projector and set it up, and then you had another table that you hooked into that set up with a carousel.
Well, and I don't even know how you guys survived because that was in the days before they had receptacle requirements for meeting rooms. So you would have to like plug in extension cord and put power strip, power strip, power strip, power strip, power strip, power strip. And like now you just plug the power strip into the meeting room receptacle and then have like 7 power strips instead of 14. You know what I mean? So it's like way safer. It's way better.
Shit, I remember we had a case specifically built to put the projector and the carousel in, and it was a big, steel, sturdy case. and we took that with us, and we wheeled that, and then you would have another little case that you put any extra carousels that you needed, and that was always you were taking on the plane and everything. That's back when you used to go to the airport and you could get there about 20 minutes early and just walk in. You didn't go through security or nothing. You just walk in, get on the plane, show your thing, and you're on. And there wasn't even a limit to checking the luggage that you put on. They didn't even charge you. So, and of course, at that time, I was a platinum member. Hell, Dad, he was a 2.5 million mile platinum member with American Airlines. And hell, if I got out there earlier, I got stuck at an airport or something, I'd go hang out in the Admirals Club because I was a platinum, So
there you go. Yeah, like, dude, see, I was trying to tell you, Daniel, James is like the original ninja. I was like, I learned all my ninja techniques from King James. You know what I mean? Like that's how I was able. Like Daniel's like, hey man, it'd be really cool to have one of those stickers from the plant, and all of a sudden I'd be like, here's your sticker. Like he'd be like, what? How'd you get that? I was like, ninja. Like I'd have like ninja items on my list. I'd be like paint markers. I'd be like, hey Daniel, you want a red paint marker? He'd be like, yeah, want a red paint marker? I'd be like, all right. Next thing you know, boom, 2 red paint markers, one's for me. Like,
I'll be honest.
We knew where everything was at. We knew everything good. We knew everything that was free.
I'd hate to be out instructing today. All the time that you're having to leave early, go to the airport, how many flights get canceled and all that. I would not want to be out there. Back in, I'm telling you, back up till about 2010 at the latest. You used to go to the airport. You didn't have very seldom a flight was canceled or anything. It was really weather related. And usually everything was on time. But ever since about after 2000, I'd say really about 2005, it just went to hell. You used to go to the airport, man. I'm telling you, back in the 80s, 90s, up early 2000s, you just go out there, go right on through the gate, man. There's no security check or anything. But all these crazy nut jobs we have out there today, shoot.
Well, I would love to get you on live for a 70E presentation for like my company. Like if we could get like everyone together and just do like a 70E, and we could like tag people like Daniel's company, all these different companies, and just do like a James Stallcup 70E presentation, because like there's so much stupid things. Daniel knows all about this. Like they're like, oh, you can't open that box if it's hot. Well, how do I know if it's hot if I can't open it? Like I have to test it that it's hot. Like, oh no, you can't open that. Nah, and Daniel's company specifically, I think I saw your safety thing one time because I was working side by side with your company before, and it says if you manipulate the wires while hot, which I thought that was kind of good, but then you could just tie it into the EM and get your people blowed up, you know what I mean? So that kind of messed up, but no, but it was like I kind of like that where it's like you can open the cover, you can investigate, but then you can't like manipulate the wires while energized once you already investigate, which I kind of like that, because if you're manipulating the wires trying to get other wires in there, do something like while it's energized, that's probably not very smart. And James actually had a really good thing where he's like, you're exposing yourself to an arc flash, and that's kind of a good thing. So I appreciate it, James, and like I say, it would be awesome to have you like come teach a 70E class for us. Like I'd be willing to throw that down.
I've been on I was on the 70E before they started even adding all the arc flash, arc blast, and all that. So I was there. I listened to all the arguments of what we did and all that. So if you want to surprise me with anything.
Well, really awesome. Thanks for everyone joining. We got a bunch of likes up in the house. Thanks so much for the likes tonight. That means a lot. King James gets the better he does, the more likes he gets. So, like I say, I'm trying to help him be better by, creating that really awesome thing. And, like, eventually it's going to lead up to him paying me back for those code changes that I still get owed. But at the same time, like I say, King James, I know you're good for it. I know that you're going to get me back whenever you got a free moment. Like, you're going to pay me back. Like, dude, that whole free, like, I think free stall cup link for life would just clear it right up. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you could just be like, here's the link. And then I'll just be like, what? And I just go in there and just my eyes just go like this big. Like, what? Oh, this is what you're doing? Like, and it'll be for free. And I could advertise for it and everything. Dude, it'll be worth it. It'll be totally worth it. I'll take like some really awesome publications and I'll create dumpster fires out on Facebook with it and stuff for you. You know what I mean? Like, dude, you won't even have to create the dumpster fires. I will create the dumpster fires for you. That's what I will do.
I even have it set up where you can be an affiliate.
Yep. And guess who's going to be my first client? Oh, Daniel J over there is going to... Hey, Daniel J, do you want to buy some makeup? Like I say, I already got King James's material all freaking boxed up and Mary Kay like ready to go. I'm going to get my pink Cadillac, James.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. Dude, I freaking love your content, sir. And it freaking means a lot the way you put these together, and it should be a powerful message to everybody out there that is going against us and saying that what we're doing is wrong, because we're bringing the heat every freaking Thursday. And thanks everyone for joining. It means a lot.
It does. All right, let's wrap her up.
Right on, fellas.
Going on 2 hours and 6 minutes.
Hey, Cesar.
Yeah.
One thing you have to do is remember, make every day an easy day.
I will. One last thing. I'll try to call or leave a comment on Cerebral Palsy Gamer's channel and see if we can have him on this podcast as well.
Okay. Cool.
Sure. Yeah.
Awesome. More than welcome.
All right. Well, my pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Hey, thanks, Daniel. Thanks for being such a good sport. Thanks for joining. And if you don't answer why you bent that pipe wrong, I'm gonna troll you.
Hey, Daniel, take that loss and cry, baby.
Rigged. It's all rigged.
Oh, hell yeah.
All right.
Thanks, everyone.
Good night, guys.
All right, everybody have a good night. Let's wrap her up. Here we go.
Peace.
Everybody, we'll see y'all next Thursday.
Thanks for joining, Cesar Blanco. Thanks for joining, Daniel J. Thanks for joining, Bridget. Thanks for joining tonight, John Reed. Thanks for joining, Lord, Bailey, Nika. Appreciate you joining from the great state of Wisconsin. Appreciate that. Thanks for joining tonight, Colorado. Hewitt, Journeyman, Katie, Curtin. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining tonight, Cameron. Sorry you weren't doing good and you're tired and joining time, Cameron. Thanks for joining tonight, everyone. Appreciate you. Appreciate the love. And sorry you missed the pickle shot, Adam. Have a good night, everyone.